guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about pump part organization. I do have another video talking about how I store my pump parts for work and everything that's in my pumping bag, so I will link that for you guys in case you're interested. So I do keep some things in there all the time. So to start out, I have these really nice clear bins that I got off Amazon. I'll link them as well. They were pretty cheap and they fit a Spectra pump bottle almost perfectly. So in this first one, I keep the pump bottle with the duckbill and the flange already all together, ready to go. I keep an extra duckbill, an extra nipple with cover, 3 extra caps for storage and travel, and then I also keep an extra one of the Spectra caps just in case I need it for this. In the next bin, it's everything that's dedicated to this portable pump. This is the bellababy. I will link this one, but I do think that this particular one is no longer sold. This is a hand-me-down. So I think it's been a few years since they produced this. So I keep one that's already ready to go. So all I have to do is pop it in my bra. I do pump one side at a time, which is why I don't have the other one in here. I have the other one in my work bag. Here is also where I keep the extra membranes, just in case I forget one or one gets wet. And I also keep 2 extra duckbills as well. In our next clear bin, I keep labels. I got these off Amazon as well, so I will link to them. They were very cheap for like 500 plain labels. I did get some colored labels as well that had like a cute design on it, that had the date and everything, and I used those to put on his daycare bottles whenever he's going to daycare, but I really don't like them as much. They stay on too well. These stay on, like they've never fallen off, but they also come off really easily whenever I need them to, which is good because I'm pretty much just using these for the date. I don't want them to stay on permanently. The other ones, it was like a whole chore trying to get them off, so I really highly recommend these. And then I also keep a Sharpie in here too so that I can write it directly on there, like whatever date it is. Then I also have this little clear bin which has storage bags for the freezer, so I can also just use that Sharpie to write directly on these and pop them into the freezer. I have the Lancino breast milk bags. They're okay. I actually have never tried any other ones because I had so many of those, so they're fine. You do need to make sure that you really try to get all the air out of them and freeze them as flat as possible. I have had a couple of problems with it tasting a little bit freezer burned. At least it smells freezer burned, so I'm pretty sure it tastes that way, but the baby takes it just fine, so it hasn't been a problem, but that's the ones that I use. Then I have a bunch of bottles for storage. So I have a couple of these that are in the fridge right now, so they're not here, but in total right now I have 5. So I have 2 in the fridge, so that's 7, and then I have 2 that I currently have in my work bag, so that's 9. So I have 9 bottles, and it's definitely plenty. I almost didn't buy these little bottles because they only hold 4 ounces, and so I heard a lot of people say, oh, you're only going to use that for a few months, so then it's just wasted. But I'm very glad that I did because I very much prefer these bottles. They're easy to hold, they're cute, and they also mix and match with the other Dr. Brown's big bottles. And he used these for a very long time at daycare. And then he stopped using them at daycare, but continued to use it if he needed a little bottle at home for whatever reason, because he rarely took more than 4 ounces at a time at home. At daycare currently, we are weaning him off his 3rd bottle, so we're giving him less and less and less, so we're using this bottle again. So they've actually gotten plenty of use, so very much recommend. It's gonna depend on your kid which bottle they like better. I got the Lancino because I heard that it is the most like the breast, so it's the best for breastfed babies. I don't really know if he noticed a difference, and I'm just gonna be honest, I have noticed recently now that he started to take a few more bottles because I was producing less and I was needing to dip into the freezer stash. I don't think he likes this bottle as much. So. All that to say, don't buy too many of one kind of bottle at once before you've really tested it out on the baby. So I have 2 of these, 2 of these, and then one of these. And I have the storage cap on this one already, just in case I need to grab it to go for work. And then if I know I'm gonna be going ahead and giving the baby a bottle with whatever I'm pumping into later, I'll just go ahead and I'll put on the nipple so that it is ready to go for the baby. So that is where I keep all of those things. I put it in the cabinet, and so I'll show you what it looks like in the cabinet in just a minute. But in the refrigerator, I am very careful to make sure that I have each of the bottles labeled with whatever date that it was pumped, because it's only good in the fridge for about 4 days. And so that way, whoever is feeding the baby knows to pick whatever is the oldest date, so that nothing ever goes bad in the fridge. Because if you've ever pumped breast milk, you know, if something goes bad in the fridge, it is the end of the world. They say don't cry over spilled milk, but what about spoiled milk? Am I right? So going back to this section, I did used to keep 2 of these in here. Now I have them in storage for just in case, but I really never get it out. So I used to have 2 of these in here. It fit pretty well. This flange is something that I also bought off Amazon, as well as the duckbill, so I will go ahead and link that. Some people are lucky enough that their insurance will pay for replacement parts, which is amazing. So look into that, and if you're able to do that, that is highly recommended, exactly what you should do. But one bad thing about the flanges is often your size will not be sold by the actual company. So like I said, this is the Spectra bottle, and I have the Spectra pump, which I keep in my work bag all the time. I have a bag where I can just unzip it and use it at the house as well, so it's just easier that way. Spectra only sells, I think, like 3 sizes of these flanges, and it is very, very common actually to not be in their size range. A lot of people are either above or below it, so I highly recommend that you measure your nipples and see what size you are and try a different size flange, because there is a very good chance that you will get so much more milk out if you were to do that. So I bought these off Amazon. They are a few millimeters smaller than the ones that I was given for Spectra. I actually ended up just throwing those out because it was painful and it barely got any milk out. But with these, it didn't feel great. It never really feels great to pump, but it didn't hurt. It was just like a tug, and I felt like I was getting as much milk out as I should be. And I believe that you can buy these either in pairs or singles. Then this duckbill, so these need to be replaced often, I believe. Once a month if you're exclusively pumping, maybe once every 3 months if you're pumping less regularly, because if you don't replace it, it's not gonna create the proper suction to make sure that you're getting as much milk as you can. And so when you run out, if you don't have an insurance that will pay for you to get extra, you're gonna have to buy some more. These ones are off-brands, but they work amazing. They work just as good as the ones from Spectra, and they cost less. So I will also link these for you guys. So I'm just gonna put this back together. As long as everything is properly dried out, I like to store it like this so that it is the utmost ease for me to be able to pump. Straight after I had the baby, I had way too much anxiety to do that. I was terrified that if there was like even the tiniest bit of water stuck in here, that it was gonna cause a mold problem, which of course could happen, but if you pump often enough and you make sure that it's fully dry, that's not gonna be a problem. So that just makes it that much easier for you to get your pump in if you need to. Okay, so here is a closer view of how everything is organized. To the left, we keep all of those bottles. We also have a sippy cup way back there, if you can see it, because he's starting to use that. That is where we keep the membranes and the extra pump with the flange. The other little portable pump is right there, so the pump's parts are pretty much all organized into that section. Then on this other section, together, I keep the labels, the Sharpie, as well as the freezer bags. And then we also have some formula there in the corner. We just recently started to give him some formula as a supplement, a few ounces a day, but we still are pumping. Okay guys, let me know if you have any other questions about anything to do with pumping or baby or maternity leave, going back to work when you have a baby. I am an open book. Like I said, I was looking up all these kind of videos whenever I was on maternity leave, trying to figure out what the heck I was doing. So it is nice to be able to help other moms out there that may be struggling, make some mom friends. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have a question or if you have something else that you think would be helpful to other moms, and I will see you guys later. Thanks.